Hello, welcome to vlog number 65. It's been a busy week at work and I've also been working on the Battle Games in Middle Earth video, which will be coming out next Tuesday as you're watching this on the Sunday morning. But I have got a few other bits and pieces done. I've managed to put some time into Rosie's railway, which is good, though it's definitely not going to be anywhere near done for a birthday, but that's life. It will be done as soon as possible afterwards and she will still appreciate it, I'm sure. And I've also done a few other bits and pieces on other projects. The January challenge has been the highlight of my week. Just getting that 20 minutes here and there every day just to go and do some painting has been really, really cool, and I've enjoyed it so much I am going to continue it for the rest of the year. So if you want to join me, then drop a comment below the video. Let me know. I will put a hashtag together probably on Instagram to get pictures, and we will be able to encourage each other. I would love to have more people join me, and thank you to everyone else. I know there's a fair few out there who are already joining in the January challenge, which has been really inspiring for me. Anyway, let's get back to those clips. I really hope you enjoy the video. Don't forget to comment below. I do love to hear from you all, and thank you very much for watching. So we're coming to the last couple of steps. I really have not been able to find any tiny white stones to line the path, which I'm really disappointed about, but I'm not going to do a bad job on it. I'd rather leave it as just a dirt path than not make it look nice with the white. So what we're going to do now is, on the picture, which is at the back here, what you can see is we have some, oh, you can't see at all because of where I'm holding it. You've got grey here and you've got a grey wall there and you've got grey coming down the tower. Now I've obviously done a little bit of the tower painting. I might have to do a slightly darker colour, I think, but this will dry very quickly, so I can do a couple of colours today. I want to get this entered today. So what I'm going to be doing is just coming along and painting the top of the wall so that it looks the same as on the picture, and then I will also paint down the corners. And the final thing that I'm going to need to do is a little bit of where the actual windows and the door is. So there's just little bits of touching up to be done now, just these finishing touches, and then I will take my fancy pictures and submit it on the website, and then wait a bit and go and do the voting for the Crafter's Choice once everyone's had a chance to submit. If you're not yet taking part in this, get involved. I will put a link to the entry form or what have you. You just need to get involved, really. I mean, quite a few people start doing this and find they don't have time, and that also is absolutely fine because it's just a bit of fun. You're not actually winning anything. Well, let me rephrase that. You're winning something just by taking part, because you get to meet lots of cool crafters and you get to see lots of cool making. And yeah, it's just all good, basically. You can't lose. So if you're not doing it yet, why not? Go and do it. Highly recommended. So there we are, that's all the grey done. I'll let that dry, see if I need to darken it. I may do. And then I'll have a think about how I'm going to do the actual the windows. I also have been thinking about putting some white on the white on the water, but I haven't yet, and I actually think I might leave it because I really like how it looks right now. So there we are, we're very, very nearly done on this build. As you can see, the template has glued to the masking tape, and now what we're going to do is I've got the Dremel and I've got a cutting blade. This is not a wood cutting blade, I don't have one of those, so it's not ideal. It's actually for cutting metal, but it does go through this thin wood. You wouldn't really want to be cutting too much deep wood. I will not film most of this, and I'll probably put some music over it because it makes a nasty sound. But you want to be very, very careful while you're doing this, because yeah, you don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want things to fly up and hit you in the eyes, to get some eye protection on. But what we're going to do is we're going to basically very carefully cut along the edge of the template. And there we are. So that's been cut, and you can see that's a nice straight edge. It'd be really nice if I had one of those mini circular saws, like table saw things, wouldn't it? That'd be really cool, but I don't have one, so I have to do this. So I have that to cut, I have that to cut, I have those to cut, I have those to cut, and I have that to cut. So it's going to take me a little while, so I will get that done and bring you back when I come to the next step, which will probably be gluing it together. I'm doing my 20 minutes early today, just finished. I'm doing a D&D thing tonight, which I'm really looking forward to, with Miller from Miller's Marvellous Miniverse. Go and check him out if you haven't yet. His videos are brilliant. He's just done a fantastic one on corrugated steel, which is just brilliant, really, really well done. Anyway, so what I've done is I did a little bit of work on the Young Warriors, so I had to prime the base of the chieftain as well, and I just touched up the final bits of colour that were missing. I've not done the washes. What I've decided to do is crack straight on with these African warriors, and then what I'll do is I'll do the bases and the washes all together. But these have gone on really well. I reckon I might even finish this tomorrow, so then I can get on to the dwarves in their barrels, which is really cool. So yeah, a very, very good 20 minutes. Funny to be painting when it's daylight outside, but I suppose as we come to the summer that will come more often. But yeah, there we are, good progress. So the last thing I'm going to do on this is put a little boat just down here, and I'm making this with a little bit of paper. Actually, it's just some brown paper that I've peeled off the top of a corrugated card. This is the corrugated card that I used for the template. So I've just kind of torn it off, separated it out, and what you can see is if I can pinch it together like that, then it will look like a boat. And what I'm going to do is put a pin through the centre to hold it in place, and cut it. I will cut it down to size now. A little bit of glue on each end, pin through the centre, and a sail on it, and then it will look like a nice little sailboat that's coming across here, and that will complete the diorama, which is good because today is the final day. So I'm going to cut that down and glue it, and then I'll pin it in place, and I'll bring you back to show what it looks like when it is done. Little quick bit of in progress on this. You can see that the boat is made, and what I'm doing now is the sail. So how I'm going to do that is I have some masking tape, which I am folding over on top of the pin, which is what will be used to stick it in. So we can make that like that, and then I'm going to be able to very easily cut out a shape of the sail. And I want this to have a pretty traditional looking sail, so we will just use the knife to cut away a triangle, and then that can get put in place onto the diorama, and it's done. I really have enjoyed this build this month. There we are, super simple boat, very simple, but I think effective. So let's get that onto the diorama, and then I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like. And we're done. I've just been taking some glamour shots, so let me now zoom in with this so you can see in detail how I've reproduced the look of this. Obviously the photograph I've got is from behind. I think I've done a pretty good job. I'm pretty pleased with that. Let's rephrase that. I'm very pleased with that. It looks brilliant. So what I'll do is I'll turn it around so you can see it from the front. There you are. So that's it from the front. The little boat looks great. I'll focus in just on the actual model now. The little boat looks great, really has worked very well. Happy with the water effects, happy with the cliff, happy with the way that the actual terrain around the outside of the compound looks. Just happy all round. I'm really pleased with this. It's been a lot of fun, and this is going to sit very nicely on my display of encounter entries. So there we are, done and on time. Today is the final day of the competition, so I am going to submit the glamour shots, which will be coming up shortly on this video as well, and see whether I can get any placings. But it isn't about that, it is all about taking part, and what a fun competition, what a fun challenge this month has been. As I expected and hoped, I managed to get all of the African warriors finished, and then I had time to do the bases, just the first coat, no wash, on the young warriors. So tomorrow I'll be able to do all of the washes on all 13 of these figures, and then maybe even make a start on the barrels, which was what I was hoping for. So yeah, a very successful evening, and we're getting very close now to actually being able to play a game of Blood and Plunder, which is very exciting. Today while watching a battle report on Tabletop CP, which was brilliant, even though my the character named after me got killed. He is badass. I put on the rest of the tiles for this, so now I have the same to do again, and then that's done and I can carry on. I'm just doing this slowly now, not rushing, though I reckon I could have done it in like a 2-day build. I think that's possible, but yeah, that's not necessary. So yeah, I'm just grabbing moments when I can and sticking these tiles on. It's looking really nice, and I'll maybe get this done tomorrow depending on how the day goes, and then I can crack on with the rest of the build and finish it off. 20 minutes done, and I managed to get the washes on all 13 of these, and then also I started on the barrels. As you can see, we have the man himself, Dwalin, and Biffa, I think it is, with the axe in his head. Maybe I've got that wrong, someone might shout at me in the comments. But anyway, a start has been made on the barrels. So I've finished the Blood and Plunder project, and now I'm on to the barrel riders, and they were so quick that I reckon I might be able to get all of them done before the end of the month, which would be awesome. However, it doesn't really matter because I probably am going to continue because I'm enjoying this so much. So yeah, there we are, a very, very productive 20 minutes. It's taken quite a few days for me to get these finished, mainly because I couldn't find my protective glasses, and I was cutting away and realised, you know what, I'm using the incorrect tool. This is a metal grinder, not a wood cutter, and I haven't protected my eyes, and so I stopped until I found these. Well, I didn't, Angela found them. But yeah, and so I've just finished. It was quite easy. I've got one problem, which is I've lost the tip of this one, and I've got another problem, which is this one should actually have the tip cut off it, but I lost the tip of it anyway. So that's going to work fine. And what I'm going to do now is decide whether I'm going to glue them together or whether I'm going to do the inside. So let me explain. So I want to do a detailed inside a bit, not much but a bit, because I might cut out some windows, but I'm not sure. But also it will just make it more solid. So what I'm thinking of doing is getting some wood filler and skimming inside between the supports with wood filler, and I'm trying to work out whether I'm going to do that before I do any gluing or after I glue. The reason to do it after is because then I won't have to scrape any off if I get it over a contact point. The reason to do it before is you get better access. So I'm thinking I might do a mix. So I might do all between all of these kind of like the uprights, because I know I'm not going to have any glue points there, and that will give it that rigidity and security. Glue it together and then come in and just reinforce the corners with the wood filler. I've still got the paper on all but this one. I peeled it off that one just to check that it worked, and it does. So I will also need to come along and remove the graph paper from the back of all the other pieces, and then I'll be able to probably do the wood filler next. But I'm going to think about it for a bit, and I'll come back to that probably this evening or tomorrow. 20-minute challenge done, and that was really hard work. I've had a really enjoyable day today. It snowed finally, first snow really of the year, and so I spent a lot of time with Rosie outside playing, and so I've come to the end of the evening and I'm absolutely exhausted. And last thing I wanted to do was come down here and paint, but I did it, and I'm really pleased I did because I've got some good progress, and that does show the benefit of this challenge. It kicks your ass a bit when you need it. So Bilbo is basically done. I've just noticed I've not done the little hair on his feet, and I also had to fix the gloves that were on Dwalin, so that's the first things I did. And then there were a couple that didn't have their skin tone, so I've done those, and I've also done some of the coats there you can see on Balin, and on Bomber and on Feely. So good, I'm on track still, I think, to finish this month, which is good. Hopefully get these all done, and I'm pretty sure that I'll be continuing this challenge. The more I do it, the more I think it's worth just getting this very short time to get things progressed, though I probably won't limit myself like I have this month in project terms. I'll have done my experiment there of how much can I achieve in a set time, and I'll just crack on and guaranteed to do at least 20 minutes a night, and maybe I'll just add up the time from then and see how it comes. Anyway, there we are. That's my progress for this evening. So decision made, I'm going to make use of my poly filler, and I'm going to fill in the gaps between each of these uprights just with the poly filler, and I'm just going to come in, and at the moment I'm going to use this, but I may change this little sculpting tool. I may change to something that's a little bit kind of bigger. But I'm just going to come along, and I'm not going to worry too much about making it flat because I will sand it down afterwards. But what this will do is give all the walls a lot of support, and also just finish it off nicely if I do decide to drill through and have doors and windows open and decorate the inside. It means that I've got a good base on which to do that. So I will do that on all of these, leave it to dry, and then sand it down. And yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to be the right tool. It's the one that immediately came to mind. I might just get myself a larger bit of tongue depressor or something like that, which will allow me to get a smoother finish. But like I say, I'm going to sand it anyway. So there we are. Let's do that on all of these. and when it's done and I come to the next step, I will be sure to turn the camera on. For the last few days I've been doing little bits of the shingling on the roof, and I've just finished it. Well, I finished it a little while ago. I've just trimmed down the overlaps. I didn't have very much at all actually, because I was very able to do that very carefully. The length of this was basically 1 full strip plus 1 or 1.5, so it was very, very little waste, which is really good. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to glue the facade on, and I have also been looking at this and worked out how to do it. So I separated the facade from the base just because it wasn't exactly the right thing to do, I don't think. This will slot on the front, and the little tabs here will go into the little tabs here. So what I'm going to do is put a load of PVA over the front of this and glue that in place, and then when that's in place, it is much easier for you to lift the whole thing up and slot the whole thing down onto this front, as you can see, and then glue that in place. So I'm not going to run the camera while I'm doing this because it's a bit fiddly and a bit noisy and a bit awkward, but I will do that just after I come off doing this shot. The second thing to point out is that there is a base that goes around the bottom of the tower. So if I pop that here just so it doesn't fall over just for a second. So we have these sections here, these brick sections, which are pretty nice, and they all got a bit of green paint on that, but it doesn't matter. They go around the outside of this tower. So the 2 small ones go either side of the door, like so, and then the longer ones, you're not going to be able to see that because of how it is. Let me make a little bit of an adjustment and bring it back. Okay, that's going to be a little easier for you to see. So we have our little brick sections, and we have one that glues down next to the door to that side, like so, and then the longer one will come in here and go into its tab and go along, and that one goes behind, and then we have the other long one return, and then you finally have this one that goes on the other side of the door there. So that's pretty easy as well. So I will also glue those in place, and I might actually now consider gluing the tower onto the bottom. I'm not sure whether I will. I am wondering about actually how I'm going to scenic it, and so I might leave it for a bit, and I might even end up putting this onto another base anyway, another MDF base and what have you. So this might end up being a longer build than expected, not just the church, but the actual putting it onto a large A4 a bit of MDF and doing some nice scenicking with some little bit of bushes and what have you. I think that might be quite nice. I'm not sure, so I'll see how that goes. I may do that as a second video. But anyway, I'm going to glue those things together, and then when I bring you back next onto this project, we'll be doing the painting and the texturing, which is actually my favourite part of the whole thing. This evening's painting was really productive as well. I got these 6 done. There's a couple of things I need to do on a few of them, and obviously all of them need washes, but I'm now remaining only 3 from this set, and then that's all done. So I might even have to think about another project to start during January, which is absolutely incredible. Though I do have a few behind me that I might finish off, like some more of the female pirates. That might end up being a project that I finish off as well as part of this, but we shall see. Let's get these done first. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Good progress though, really good, enjoyable session, and after the 20 minutes I actually painted on for a bit doing another project as well, so a really enjoyable session at my painting desk. Another 20 minutes, done early this evening because I have a whiskey night with a load of friends from the UK, which is going to be good fun. And what I've done is I've finished up the barrel riders apart from the washes, and rather than do the washes, I'll do all of them tomorrow. I'll do them all together. And so I had a little bit of time left at the end, and so I have started on the remainder of my female pirates from, I can't remember the name where I got them from now, it's gone from me, but I'll pop it on the screen and put a link below. They're brilliant, really like them. So yeah, so I've got about 6 or 7 of these left to do, so I'm going to work through these now, and I am going to carry on for the rest of the year if I possibly can. Maybe with a few days off here and there is fine, but I'm just going to carry on 20 minutes and see how much I can get done. This is not the only painting I'm doing. I am doing other painting for other projects, but I quite like in the fact that I'm seeing so much progress in 20 minute patches, so I think I'm just going to stick to it. Anyway, I better stop nattering now and go and join my mates and drink some very, very nice scotch. Today some new shiny arrived for me. I will do a proper unboxing video which I'll put out at some point once I've had a bit of time to play with it. Yeah, this is not going to be very extensive, but it did just arrive today. This is the Trexo Wheels. Now, it was a bit of an accident buying this. I managed to get the lowest price pledge on Kickstarter. Grabbed it, it came available just while I was looking. It had been sold out for weeks, and then suddenly someone must have cancelled, and so I grabbed it and then promptly forgot, and unusually my card worked, so I was charged, and I don't really like refunding, and I obviously had paid for it, so I kept the pledge, and it arrived just today, and I'm relatively pleased about it. I'm not sure how much use it will get. Basically what it is a app controlled and programmable camera dolly, so you can sit your camera, you can attach your camera on there, and then it will drive around, and it also has a rotating plate, I believe, so that you can use it for taking nice photographs and slow-mos and what have you. So I can see a use for it, but I'm not sure just exactly how much I'll get. But anyway, let's have a look inside. As I said, I'll do a proper unboxing, but I thought I'd just quickly show this on the blog, on the vlog even. So it comes in a very nice hard case. That's very nice. I haven't opened this yet, so you are seeing this live on camera. The unboxing will obviously be refilmed, it won't be this. So here we are, here is the plate, which has a black and a white side. Here is some sort of mouse matty type thing. Okay, right, so that's the actual plate, and that must be something you can stick on the plate. So this is the plate that goes on the Trexo, and this must be something so that you can cover over the screw holes. And here it is. That is very nicely packed. It's a weighty piece of kit. That is heavy enough. Very, very nice feeling. Feels very solid. Yeah, cool. And I'm going to have to look into it. I'll do a proper unboxing when I know more about it. But it comes with a clip for your mobile phone. It's got the charging cable there, and some other kind of device or other there. Yeah, anyway, there we are, the Trexo Wheels, which, as I say, arrived today, mostly accidentally, to be honest, but I'm sure I'll get some use out of it. I'm pretty pleased, and I will show more about it when I know a bit more about it. So yeah, there we are, that's that. We have two processes to go through on these sections of wall for the house. This one is actually a little bit warped, which is a bit of a concern. I may need to flatten that down. I hadn't noticed that until I just picked it up, but I should be able to resolve that because just a bit of glue and a clamp and that should be okay. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come in and I'm going to sand it down just to get any excess off. And like I say, this one's going to need to have a little bit of remedial work done on it because it's a bit warped. But I can still show you the step that I'm going to do, which involves a straight edge and a sharp sculpting tool like this. If you don't have one of these, then you could use a hobby knife, but just be careful that you don't cut through by accident, because what we're going to be doing, what I'll actually do is just quickly move the camera angle a little bit so that you can see a bit better for this bit. Now, so what we've got is we've got our sculpting tool, and we've got our straight edge metal ruler, and I'm going to come along and I'm going to score in planks, and I'm going to split each of the actual coffee stirrers into three. Okay, so we're going to draw two straight lines down each coffee stirrer. So first of all, I mark each end just so I know where to line, and then very carefully come along with the sharp end and score down it. And just be careful that you don't cut through the whole of the coffee stirrer, split it. You just want to mark it in, and this will now give the impression of more planks than there are coffee stirrers, so it'll look really nice when we come to paint it. So I'm going to do that on all of these. I've already done one as a test. That's how that looks when it's all done, which I think is quite nice. So I'm going to do all of that, and I'll resolve this and I'll let you know how I've done it. What's happened here is this section here wasn't quite glued to the strut, and so it has warped when the wood glue or when the wood filler has gone on. So what I think I should be able to do is get myself a clamp like this and clamp it down, and then get some glue, and that should make it that should make it okay. So I'll probably just do something like that, but I'll let you know what I do to resolve it. At the end of the day, if I need to, I will have to make this section again, which is a bit frustrating, but this is for Rosie, and I would rather that it was done absolutely right than I cut corners. So if I have to wait a little bit, I have to wait a little bit to do it right. Sorry, that's a bit annoying. So yeah, but I'll do the rest of these, sand them down and mark off the edge of all the planks, and then I will bring you back for the next step when I get to it. Another successful evening. Most of the time was spent doing the washes on the dwarves, so they're all done. Bases wise, I'm going to do some watery bases, and I'll do them separately. They're not part of this challenge, so that I'm calling that done, but I will do them soon, and they will be on a video coming to your eyesight shortly. And then in the remaining time, I continued on with these Black Scorpion miniatures. These take a long time. They're not actually all that quick to paint, and yeah, so that took about 8 or 9 minutes just to do 2 coats. The coats on those minis, that's all I've done. So yeah, they're not the quickest minis in the world to paint. They're quite detailed, but I'm really enjoying it, and I've got a bunch more to do, so I'm going to carry on with that. Oh, there was actually one more dwarf that was not in shot. There he is. How can you miss Bomber? Anyway, good progress, and we'll be back again. The final day of January is tomorrow, so let's see how far we can get tomorrow, and that will be my final count for the month. Well, there you are. It was a shorter week than normal, only about 25 minutes or so, but still productive and fun, and I got a lot more hobbying done than is on this video, as you will see on Tuesday if you watch that video. So we're stood by the bingo sheet, and I am about to cross off, paint a different pose of a hero already painted, and that is for Dwalin of the dwarves, the barrels that are bond, because I've already got a Dwalin that I painted up for Angela quite a long time ago, so that crosses that one off. I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to maybe pull out a couple of others out of that set, but for now I'm not bothered about that. I'm happy to have crossed that one off, and obviously that also means that I've done 2 of the paint for different races, so I've done the elves and the dwarves. So good progress on the bingo, and yeah, that's good. So thank you very much for watching. Pop a comment below if you've got anything to add. I do love hearing from you and reply to all of them, and I'll close off by saying, as I always do, please stay healthy, stay safe, and stay well.